Hi there, it's day 3 of your reset, and today we're continuing to look at what to eat and how to eat. And in particular, we're looking at the topic of breakfast because there's always a big question mark over what to eat for breakfast when we're doing this. And just in case you've stumbled across this video on YouTube and you don't know what I'm talking about, please just click the link in the video notes, and that will take you to the page on my website where you can read all about my Ancestral health detox and reset programs, and I do encourage you to do it. So moving on with today, the idea of breakfast, lunch and dinner, 3 meals a day. Okay. And just before we get into it, I am curious to know what you're eating. So please, take a couple of photos of your meals and post them on Instagram or and tag me. Or if you're doing this as part of the group program, pop them into the group, and that way I can see it and see whether you need whether your meal preparation needs a little bit of tweaking, and we can all sort of be inspired by what you're preparing and what you're eating. Okay, so let's have a look at breakfast. And again, this is like yesterday. This is a photo of like sort of a fairly typical breakfast for us: bacon and eggs. Nothing better than that. And look. It's one of the best pieces of advice we can give you is that instead of thinking breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which is going to trap you in old ways of thinking, simply think 3 healthy meals a day. Okay? Because when it comes to preparing paleo meals, what we really want is to encourage you to think outside the box, right? And release all of those preconceived ideas about what actually constitutes breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? So if you think just meal 1, meal 2, and meal 3, and make sure that every meal is complete with quality protein, healthy fats, and plants, then everything's easy, yeah? So the goal, right, the big objective, the big goal here is to become so in tune with the signals that we receive from our bodies that we'll reach for the food that we need, we'll reach for the nutrients that we need in an intuitive way, right, regardless of the clock, right? So as we learned yesterday, the body brain responds with the feeling of satiety when it has received enough nutrients, right? And in particular, when it's received enough protein and healthy fats. So with the protein and the healthy fats, we're fueled for hours, right? But when it comes to carbohydrates and sugar and glucose, we're hungry again within a very short time, and we're cranky. Okay, so the highs and lows of blood glucose levels caused by the simple carbohydrates result in that unpleasant state between hunger and anger, which we call hangry. Okay, so choosing from the wide variety of fresh paleo foods, eat what you want, when you want, and don't mind the clock. Okay, so bacon and eggs are fine for lunch or dinner. Leftover roast beef and vegetables are perfect for breakfast. Why not? I eat really weird things for breakfast, because I sort of don't have time for breakfast. I've got, other things to do. I sort of forget about it. And then at a certain point, I'll get hungry and I'll just pull open the fridge and see what's in there. And I'll just sort of eat all kinds of leftovers, without actually, having the need to prepare anything because it's just leftovers from the night before or 2 nights ago. Okay, so eat. And the big question here, or the big comment here, but breakfast isn't breakfast unless it's sweet, right? And it's really curious when you think about this, from where, when, and why did this concept come from that breakfast needs to be sweet or based on simple carbohydrates with very little nutrition, yeah? In the morning, when you think about it, we need to activate our metabolism in the best possible way. We need to give our bodies what they need to keep energy stable, hormones in balance, and keep all of our bodily systems working like clockwork, yeah, and running in peak condition. And so this means that, just like the other 2 meals of the day, breakfast should be low in carbohydrates, moderate in protein, and high in healthy fats. And so for this reason, a couple of eggs and a couple of slices of bacon or pancetta in the morning are perfect. Okay, now people get worried about cholesterol, right? But rest assured, there's nothing to be concerned about. The idea of that eating cholesterol is the cause of high cholesterol is one of the great health fallacies of recent times, and we'll go into this later on in the program. Yeah, just thinking about the rule of thirds that we looked at yesterday. So 1/3 protein, 2/3 plants, vegetables, salad. Look, personally, we don't eat vegetables for breakfast. We did when we started, and I just found that too many vegetables created discomfort for me, and that's generally true for all human beings. So the reason for this is that our digestive tract is actually quite short compared to the herbivores. The herbivores have very long digestive tracts, and herbivores also obviously have a different range of bacteria in their gut, and some of them also have more than one stomachs, like cows I think have 4 stomachs. So our digestive tract is quite short, and personally I find that by not eating vegetables for breakfast, my digestive system is much healthier, right? I would suggest that just sort of eat the protein and the healthy fats, and not worry too much about the vegetables. Okay, the next question is, doesn't this get boring? And it's funny, this question, because if you think about the things that you've been eating in the past, that you've been eating and drinking every day of your life since infancy up until now, like wheat products, like the sweet things or the breakfast cereals for breakfast, you've been eating them every day of your life and you've never got bored of them. Or coffee is the perfect example. We drink coffee every day. Do you ever get bored of coffee? No. So there is a little bit of a psychological jump to go through here. We're going to be eating more or less the same thing every day, but we're going to be receiving so many nutrients from it, and you can change things up and make them interesting, because it is true as well that eating the same thing every day can get monotonous. Variety is important psychologically and also for our diets, but yeah, I've just written here, we eat eggs almost every day in one form or another, unless we skip breakfast altogether. But on the weekends we often eat something else. We might have some paleo crepes or pancakes, or a smoothie, or something else. So a few ideas for breakfast: eggs in one form or another with added healthy fat, such as half an avocado or bacon or coconut milk and coconut flakes. And see the recipe in the recipe book for the banana coconut scramble. It sounds really weird, but it's really good. A smoothie is another idea, but remember, you got to add the protein. So collagen peptides are excellent. If you don't have collagen peptides, you could add a raw egg. And ground meat or meatballs with sauteed vegetables, why not? And crepes or something delicious from the breakfast section from the recipe book, but only on the weekends, okay? So we don't want to keep the sugar dragon active, okay? So there are variations there, and just dive into it and start exploring. Okay, so in the turquoise box, there's a little reminder for the rule of thirds. There's suggestions for moving today to get a bit of movement into your routine, and the motivation exercise, the practice of positive affirmation. I'm big on affirmations. I do affirmations every day. So yes, okay, stronger and healthier every day. Good luck with it all. Get in touch with me if you need to, and I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.